What is up, what is good, and what is going on? This is Fast Break. So unlike my normal podcast, this episodes like this will be just my quick thoughts when there is news that is pressing, and I just want to get a video out. So for those that did not see Dumb Money TV, the YouTube channel, they were supposed to open up a first edition limited printing booster box of base set Pokemon that they had paid $375,000 for, which is not a small chunk of change. They had Leonhardt and Scott Eamer there from the Dallas-Fort Worth Pokemon Group in order to test the legitimacy of said box, and just to, just for collections experts, because as you saw, Logan Paul had the collectibles guru, and we see how that worked out, as they were calling out $30,000 Bulbasaurs. But it turns out the box was resealed. For those that don't know what resealing is the box was opened prior and was replaced with different things. So there were like base set 2 packs, there were jungle packs, but there weren't any first edition packs. None of them were good. And the thing that gave away for the resealer that this has been resealed recently was that there were 2020 cards. So there were 20 energies in some of the packs. They couldn't even take the time to just throw unlimited cards in there to be like, oh, this box has been resealed for a really long time. Something to know is that when hype happens, you're going to get scammers. Scammers will 100% be part of this. It is a real concern when it comes to buying sealed product. And even if you're in Magic cards, you'll know that there are a lot of fake cards as well. I've had my share of fakes come through, between whether it's Power 9, whether it's that. And if you are uneducated on how to find the authenticity of said products, you will 100% be opening yourself up to being hosed. It's not fun, especially if you spend, say, $7,000, $8,000 on a Black Lotus, only for a vendor later in your life to tell you that it's fake. And that is not good. You don't really, by then, usually the money is gone. So, just a thought on it is that it was an unbelievable video. I'll have the link to the video in the description below. When they came to the realization the box was fake, they immediately called the seller of the box to say, hey, listen, these packs were fake, and this box was fake. And they supposedly have another one, and this, that, and the other. And they were just talking about now, fears about the legitimacy of other boxes. And it was a pretty decent reseal job. They'll get the Wizards wrapping, and then they'll hot glue it back together. But this is what I do try to stress when it comes to the higher-end items and why eBay, as sales are fun. But once you get to the top tier, we're not talking, that's like anything 5 figures and up is what I consider. Basically, anything that I refuse to give to the USPS in order to mail out. Like, I don't give away my cards, I don't hand it over to USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, and then say, hey, I hope that you don't lose my $20,000 irreplaceable item. You got to get on an airplane for that. If you want the card, like when I sell my Black Lotus, when I sell Charizard, if I sell an old box, it has to be in person. I don't care if it's international or not. That's just my personal views, and I refuse to do it any other way. It's like I'll take it to an event when and if those ever come back, but otherwise it needs to be in person because I need to also be able to inspect it. You could swap it out and say, oh, you never got it. There's a lot of scammers, and like I said, when Magic really took off a few years ago, the rise of fakes coming out of different countries, it really was nuts, and you would see a lot of counterfeit cards, and that's what led to Wizards of the Coast back in 2015 adding the counterfeit stamp at the bottom of their card, because counterfeiting is a serious thing, because if you all of a sudden can just replicate these cards like that, there's no real purpose to have Wizards of the Coast ship out the cards. It's not going to be good. So, just my thoughts on it. Incredible video. I hope that they're able to get their money back. I mean, I hope that the chain of commands can lead to find to where the resealer is, and this person could be called out. It's definitely criminal. It's a fraudulent sale. You sold something that wasn't what it is. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV or YouTube, so I can't really tell you exactly the extent of it, but I'm sure that it will be a problem. So, like I said, is this when you want to buy a product like that, it needs to be in person, and you must buy from a reputable seller. So to shout out Jim Bruce over at Greater Power, I know he has a first edition box that is currently for sale for $450,000. That is a reputable seller. Jim's been in the business for almost the entire time I've been alive. So, and I'm 31. So Jim's been doing this for a very long time. He's the right person to trust. You go to him, you go to Hot Sauce, you go to Channel Fireball, any of them, because they have the money that they don't need to take those risks, and their reputation is so crucial to them. They would never throw their reputation up for just whatever, just to make a sale. I know it sounds whatever that is, like $400,000, but it's like it costs so much more if your reputation goes in the gutter and you're forced to close your doors, right? So buy from reputable people. Always, like, once you reach that certain level, find the origins of the product. That's why they give out certificate of authenticities in the sports world, in sports memorabilia, because there are people that will try to replicate these things. And now we're living in 2020 where people are desperate. People are really there sitting, and they have it's a time where people will do scams. And I've known people who have been trusted before who have kind of turned over to the dark side because they don't know what to do. And these people do things when they're not, when they feel helpless, when they feel hopeless. So they're willing to scam. They're willing to do these things that really just shouldn't be being done, but they're desperate. So you see someone reseal, and they're like, look, man, if I could just get this money, I'll be good. I won't have to worry about Rona. I won't worry about this. Make sure you're buying from reputable sources when you're spending a lot of money. It's another reason why people get everything graded once it gets to a certain value, because it's not even about the condition. Like, I tell people, if you were to send me a ripped Charizard first edition base, I'm probably going to put it in a slab. It's going to get authentic or whatever, but it's still authentic, so you're not going to get a fake. And currently, Pokemon fakes are not good. They're very bad. Now that they're a lot of money, they might get better. Might get a lot better. So keep your eye out on that. Get yourself a jeweler's loop. Get yourself educated on these products, because anything, really, people will be trying to scam. They will be trying to scheme. So please, please, please protect yourself. Make sure that you have someone who is reputable. When you buy an item, have someone else with you. And if anything is suspicious when it is done, you have to make sure it's reported and documented. Could you imagine if they opened that box by themselves? No one's buying first edition boxes to open not on camera now. Probably. I mean, I don't know everything. But odds are it's on camera. But can you imagine if this was a few years ago and they said, listen, we're just going to get some friends over. We're going to get some drinks. We're going to open up a first edition base set box. You open the box and it's a bag of dicks. Okay? It's not fun. So now they have to go through all the process of getting it, and I don't know where they got it from. I know that Scott is a reputable person when he was there. I don't know who sold him the box. Hopefully they get their money back. Supposedly they're going to have another video tomorrow with the box. Fool me once, shame on me. But we'll see. They mentioned in the video after, they said, listen, you don't know about people like the other boxes now. Now, if you've been sitting on a box, it could have been resealed, so you could be worried about it. Oh, wait, I've had this box for 5 years. I didn't know. I've seen plenty of people who come to me and be like, yeah, listen, I've had this dual land for like 12 years, blah, blah, blah. They show it to me. I'm like, this thing is faker than Kim Kardashian. So, like, no, you have to be able to be sure. Buy them once it reaches over even $100. Check. In Magic cards, there are things that they've faked. Goblin Guide. Thoughtseize, like, some of the hollows, the foils, I'm turning a Pokemon guy, right, that are just not super expensive, but that's what gets you. So check. Yeah, it's okay to be paranoid because it's worth your time. If you check the card and it is fake, and it was an $80 card, and you could have just taken 2 seconds to check the authenticity of the card by doing a jeweler's loop. You learn there's lots of different websites and resources. I can do a video on how to. I have a digital loop if people would like to see how to authenticate Magic the Gathering cards. And I've done a little research into Pokemon, but I think my method's fairly good in terms of jeweler's loop. But like I've said, you could look at a Pokemon card like, but cards getting expensive. They're getting expensive. So make sure you're checking, because more fakes are coming. More resealed boxes are coming. It's not that hard to print a box, and if you're not paying attention, you could buy something that just looks like a box. It's like they didn't make these out of unicorn paper. They're made out of paper so they could be replicated. but you can't replicate everything about the box. So that is something you must be buying from reputable people, and make sure that you are 100% sure before you put your money in, especially if you're paying cash and there's no paper trail. So with that, thank you. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I got a couple more videos coming out this week, and if anything crazy else happens, it'll be more of a fast break. Catch you later. Boom!